People think that what we're going through right now is due to a new conflict, something easily solvable, because it's only been around since the beginning of the State of Israel. It's only been around since the conflicts of 48 or 67. Therefore, there's an easy solution, and the two-state solution, and we can all just live in harmony. But the truth is, this is the oldest living conflict on planet Earth. As far as we know, this goes back over 3,000 years. This predates Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, because it goes back to Avraham Avinu. It goes back to last week's Parsha, where Avraham and Sarah cannot have children. So Sarah says to Avraham, here, take my servant as a concubine and have a child with her, and that child will be considered my child, and I will raise that child, as it was very custom in those days for women who could not have children. Avraham and Hagar get together, and together they bring into the world a boy named Ishmael. Now, Hagar, seeing that she is now a woman of status, she has a son for Avraham, she starts seeing herself as a wife to Avraham, and is very quickly reminded that she is not, that she is a concubine. And in those times and terminologies, that made a very big difference. Now, the reason that this makes a very big difference is because a concubine and her son do not get the same level of inheritance when the father dies. They don't get the same level. Now, could be they get something, could be not. It depends on basically what the relationship of the father is with the child. God comes to Avraham and says, you will have another son, this time with Sarah. Avraham is actually very happy with Ishmael. He even says, Lu Ishmael yichya lefanecha. Is it not enough that Ishmael will be my continuation? And God says, no, Sarah is going to have a son, and he is going to be your continuation. Then we see throughout the entire story of Avraham with Yitzchak and Ishmael that Avraham is struggling to decide which of these two will continue his path. But God keeps on reminding and saying, Yitzchak is your rightful heir. And the reason is, he comes from Sarah. In Judaism, it didn't only go according to who are the fathers, but also the mothers. So we have Avraham and Sarah. We have Yitzchak and Rivka. We have Yaakov with Rachel and Leah. And because of that, the mother line and the father line make a big difference over here. So Yitzchak is born in this week's Parsha. And when Yitzchak is born, there's a huge celebration. And it says that Sarah sees Et ben Hagar HaMitzrit mitzachek. She sees the son of the concubine. He is mitzachek. Now, what does mitzachek mean? Mitzachek is different than tzchok. Tzchok being laughter. And laughter we see as a good thing. But mitzachek, there's something maniacal in the laugh. There's something off about him. There's something about his behavior that sets off a red flag in Sarah's mind, and she says, there's something wrong. And she comes and she tells Avraham, I do not want this kid of the concubine to inherit with my son. And it says that Avraham is upset about this. Avraham sees Ishmael as a son to him. But God tells him right away, don't be upset. The son of yours, you only have one son that is going to continue you, and that is Yitzchak. That is a son from Sarah. However, because he is also from your seed, I will take care of him and make him into a great nation. And you'll see that throughout history, there's actually a lot of similarities between Islam and Judaism. And one of them starts out with the fact that Ishmael also has 12 sons and one daughter, just like Yaakov does, right? There's a lot of parallels. But Ishmael does not follow in God's path, and he is not the one to continue. So what did the word mitzachek mean? One of the commentaries says that as a joke, he would be throwing rocks and arrows carelessly towards Yitzchak's direction, as if trying to kill him by accident. Acknowledging Yitzchak in any way, shape, or form makes Yitzchak a legitimate child and saying that he exists, and saying that he himself, Ishmael, is no longer the legitimate heir of Avraham. Until the birth of Yitzchak, Avraham only has one heir, and that is Ishmael. Therefore, his inheritance is the land of Israel. But as soon as the main woman, the main wife, has a son, and not the concubine, her son is the rightful heir. But Ishmael cannot acknowledge this. This is a very important basis in Islam, that the son of the concubine cannot recognize the existence of the son of the wife. Because if he does, he is admitting that he cannot exist, that he is not legitimate, that he does not get a part of the Yerusha, of the inheritance. And we see this today clear as day. We see that whenever in the UN there is discussions, how do the Muslims refer to us? The Zionistic movement, the Zionists, the American and European Zionists who came to Palestine, right? We are not the Israelis, we are not the Jews, we are not the descendants of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Who are we? We are Americans. We are British. We are Europeans. We are just colonizers, right? Because if they ever acknowledge that we are the son of Yitzchak and the son of Abraham, that makes us the rightful owners, which is why they can never agree to a two-state solution. Israel has agreed on multiple occasions to peace treaties, to offering land, to saying we will take what we can get because we have been chased out by every single nation on planet Earth, and all we want is to come back home peacefully. In Megillat Atzmaut, while writing the independence of Israel, they said, we are here and we would like to make the nation a democratic land, a Jewish democratic land for all of those who are living here. Let's live together in peace. And the response was, all the nations around attacked and tried to annihilate us. They can never say, we will agree to give you 1 meter in the land of Israel, because acknowledging that means they do not have a right over here. That is the source of the conflict on a spiritual level, on a historical level. Whether people understand it or know it or not, the Torah wrote this down over 3,000 years ago. Not a word of it has changed. This is what we are living in. We are living in a very trying time. But as we can see, Am Yisrael Chai. Shabbat Shalom.